All right, as I talk about quite often here at Aptitude Outdoors, I'm a big reader. I'm always trying to learn more about the outdoors, learn more about people in the outdoors. I was trying to keep my pulse on, what's going on. And with the last podcast I did with Derek Lugo, writer of The Unlikely Thru Hiker, we talked a lot about a topic that's really hot right now, which is inclusion in the outdoors. And, you can go, I'll link the video. You can watch that on YouTube and you can listen to it in the podcast as well. So I'm not going to go into it on detail here, but it's funny to me. It seems like the more you talk about something and coincidentally you start, I don't know if it's because we notice it more or if it just kind of things work out that way, but you start seeing tidbits about whatever conversations you recently have pop up all over the place. And I've been reading this book suggested to me by Eric Schlimmer called Wilderness Ethic. And, I'm just kind of taking notes on it, reading it page by page or chapter by chapter, and really trying to dig deep into it because there's a lot of good information here. It's from the early 90s, I believe, but there's a few paragraphs that really struck me, and at the risk of copyright infringement, I'm going to read those here because they're really thought-provoking, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with what's being said here. It's just very interesting how this was brought up, and it's not a perspective that I've ever had in my head before. I've never thought about this. So I don't know what chapter I'm in right here, chapter 10, called Trails and Wildness, which is a word they use a lot in this book. It's not wilderness, wildness, which is interesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this here, and I'd be interested to see what people's thoughts are on this because it's pretty thought-provoking. So the authors go and they say, one proposition that seems to command general support is that a popular mountain area should provide a spectrum of recreation experiences. Those who seek adventure and difficulty should be able to find it in the mountains. But if that area lies within a day's drive of millions of potential visitors, there should be easy access to many parts of it as well. Not everyone is a Reinhold Messner. The casual weekender, the elderly hiker, the children, the physically disabled should be able to enjoy a true backcountry experience. The key point is that a broad range of experiences be available. Now, one thing is absolutely certain. That is, the Green Mountains of Vermont and the White Mountains of New Hampshire afford rich opportunities for casual weekender, the elderly, the hiker, the children, the physically limited. There's plenty of easy access. There are full-service huts in the backcountry. There are numerous easy trails. There are roads or gondolas or trains to each state's highest mountain. But apart from the especially heavy-handed means of access, there are plenty of foot trails so easy that almost anyone can walk to modest summits with breathtaking views, waterfalls of incomparable beauty, and other scenic mountain locales, and so numerous that many such wonderful places see little traffic at all, though the trails are shown on maps, listed in guidebooks, and provided with trailhead parking and clear signposts. When we suggest, as in the last chapter, that a trail should not be built to Melville Cascades, then no one is about to deprive the elderly, the young, and the infirm of beautiful places to see. We're simply suggesting that some of the beautiful places remain accessible only by considerable effort. If a full spectrum of experiences is to be available, then the rights of the physically hardy should be defended just as vigorously as the rights of the physically limited. It is illogical and unfair to agree that a broad range of experiences should be available and then try to reduce every beautiful spot to universal access. There is little risk that the physically limited majority will run out of places to go. But there is serious risk in the small and popular mountain areas of New England that all ridges and valleys will be made so accessible that two tragic losses will occur. First, the opportunity for genuine adventure will be taken from those whom the wild mountain world is especially precious. And second, the mountain environment will be exposed to excessive use levels with unacceptable physical degradation. So that quote, and I've lost my bookmark here, That's more than a quote. That is a few chapters. Really thought-provoking. So, there's definitely arguments that, and an argument that I make regularly, that everyone should go outdoors. Everyone should be able to go outdoors. And there's an argument, the counter argument I've never thought of, leaving places wild for those who are looking for an ultimate challenge. And with, the way the world is getting smaller day by day at this point in time, wilderness places are getting smaller, leaving places for the bushwhacker, for the explorer type of person, just as important as making it accessible to everyone. So I guess there's a lot to unpack there, lots of definitions that need to be defined as what is accessibility, what is inaccessibility. But I like the full spectrum thought of that. It's taking into account everybody that would like to participate in the outdoors, in the backcountry specifically, the argument being that there's already plenty of trails to be explored. I mean, I don't think in a lifetime you could explore all of the trails in the White Mountains, the Green Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains, the Rockies. It would be impossible. So I don't know. It's very thought-provoking, and it struck. That's the only highlight I've put in a book in 10 years. I don't highlight in books. I highlighted that because it struck me so hard. And so with all this talk on inclusivity, I would be interested to know everyone else's thoughts on this. So you can, I don't even care, you can message me on Instagram, you can message me on, or leave a comment on YouTube. It's a very well thought out argument in that book. And that's, I tried to keep it in context as much as possible. So I read as much of it as seemed relevant to that thought. And yeah, that's something I'm thinking about as well. Like, and I do agree that some places should be totally left alone. There's no argument. I'm not going to tiptoe around that. I mean, it's for the sake of having wilderness exist, there needs to be, by definition, places where people are not. So again, what are your thoughts on this? How does this strike you? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's over the top? Do you think it's pushing too much? I don't think it's taking away from anyone's experience the outdoors. I mean, I rarely go off trail, and I love the outdoors. It is what it is, but I wanted to share this with everyone. I hope you got something out of this. If you have, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. We'll be back again with more for you guys soon. Peace.